Ford and Rivian, they said China is 5 years ahead. In
Yeah.
I don't really. In what way is that? Do you agree?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Their vertical integration, at least 5 years. Their electronics, their drive-by-wire stuff is really pretty good. I can't put them on the street,
Yeah,
but they're not. No, sorry. Auto like self-driving is way ahead. It's not as good as Tesla, but it's real close.
yeah, I agree.
Um,
Yeah,
their build quality is to die for. Yeah, and they can do them faster.
I personally had an experience with BYD recently, and it was a pretty bad experience to tell you the truth. It was, I mean, it wasn't the end of the world, but it mirrored others' experiences here in Australia. And I'm talking about the media, I'm talking about journalists, I'm talking about our interactions with BYD, the company, which have been honestly shockingly bad. And I'll tell you what happened towards the end of the video. But first, this is a story that kind of confirms that communication at BYD appears to be a global problem, not just an Australian problem. Car News China has just reported that a major BYD network in China has collapsed. We're talking numerous stores. There's been reports recently that many dealerships, not just BYD dealerships, but car dealerships in general in China are struggling. Last year, I believe 2,000 dealerships actually ceased to exist. BMW, they are testing right now a solid state battery from an American battery company. Could this go into BMW's vehicles? Well, yes, it will, almost certainly. But the question here is actually when. The US has taken a U-turn on zero emissions emission mobility. Obviously, Donald Trump and, whatever they're saying, EVs are not their focus priority. And I think the reason for that is because America has lost the EV race, the EV arms race, the battery race. There's no question that the United States have lost that. Tesla's car sales in Europe are in. The Tesla Model Y has been on sale now in Europe for more than a month. And yet, these sales numbers are absolutely not what I personally expected. Guys, I'm really curious now to know what your thoughts are, because now we've had time for the dust to settle. It does appear something is going on in Europe. It's worth pointing out here, guys, EV sales in Europe this year have actually grown significantly. That's why I'm kind of shocked to see these numbers. Well, maybe not shocked, but I'm surprised. Tesla sales plunged in Europe in April, including an 81% drop in Sweden, which could be based on deliveries, not actually orders. But it does mean Tesla sales hit their lowest level in 2.5 years in Europe. I could never be a short seller. I just don't have the balls for it. And I like to think I'm not stupid enough to short sell companies which are likely going to succeed. Nvidia and Tesla have led over 250 billion US dollars in short seller losses during the recent market rally. $250 billion in short seller losses. I mean, in fact, Tesla's stock has had a pretty surprising rise, especially considering their weak performance in Europe, especially considering the constant negative media attention. But yet, investors aren't buying into it. The market's rapid bounce back to near record highs over the past month has been very unkind to investors who have bet against US stocks. I actually spoke about this recently. I said a lot of money has moved out of the US market and was going to the European market, which doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. If you're from Europe, guys, I love Europe. Traveling in Europe is great. Investing in Europe, not so much. General Motors have just revealed brand new batteries they've been working on. Very interesting, higher energy density. They have a certain kind of chemistry that has enabled them to, well, General Motors say they're going to use these in pickup trucks, particularly SUVs, large vehicles that need extra range, that need higher energy density batteries. This is what we know about them so far. GM's so-called secret batteries will slash EV costs, people are saying. Apparently, these LMR batteries will power trucks that deliver more than 400 miles of range, like I'm talking, big vehicles. So, it will enable General Motors to put smaller battery packs in bigger vehicles and still get a lot of range. Guys, this is a really good story to explain to many of you who have been contacting me, writing comments on social media about all kinds of things. I think this story answers a lot of your questions about, well, numerous issues. And it's actually a fascinating story of what can happen to anyone at any point in time. Yes, I did a video recently, which was not based on my opinion. I want to make that very clear. It wasn't an opinion piece. It was about the reliability of electric cars in Germany. Electric cars were nearly 3 times more reliable on average than the same age, similar age, similar mileage, gasoline powered cars. And that was from the biggest study that I think we've ever seen in Germany, looking at literally hundreds of thousands of cars in Germany. Guys, I know many of you are sick and tired of me saying that these automakers are lying, not all of them, but many of them are lying about the aerodynamic or how aerodynamic their cars actually are. I probably said this at least 50 times, and I know it sounds ridiculous. However, there's a viral story going on right now. It's being reported by hundreds of media publications saying, actually, this might be true, possibly. A Chinese blogger with 2 million followers has tested one of these cars, which has similar claims to other cars, and found that the aerodynamic drag coefficient was completely made up. New batteries are going to make Volkswagen's electric cars significantly cheaper. And in addition to that, Rivian and Volkswagen are working on a cheaper electric car. Volkswagen has been, it's been working on electric cars. To be honest, from what we can see, it looks like it's still making a loss on electric cars. Thus, the reason for its profitability falling to record lows at its most recent earnings call. However, since Volkswagen has partnered with Xpeng and Rivian for much better in-car software and updating its product line, the anticipated, meant to be around $22,000 ID2 is coming soon. Guys, if you have a look at BYD's sales breakdown in the month of April, you'll see that they sold, 55, in fact, more than 55,000 of the BYD Seagull, which is their cheapest electric car. It now starts at around $9,000. And that would probably ordinarily not mean a lot to a lot of people, or most people outside of China, because you can't buy them unless you're in China. But that's about to change.